my name is Eddie C, and welcome to My Positive Podcast. I'll bring you positive stories of people from all walks of life, because everyone has a story to tell. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to MPP, My Positive Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie C, and this is episode 6, and we'll be talking about calm. I've got 3 wonderful guests that are going to explain how that plays a role in their lives. One is an actor living in Hollywood, California. My second guest is into music, but also into healthy foods and lifestyle. And my third guest is an ex-Air Force veteran and former legal assistant. So if you're curious about their stories, stay tuned to My Positive Podcast. Let's get this show on the road. My name is Eddie C, and you're listening to My Positive Podcast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my first guest, which is a very, very dear friend to my heart for many years. She's an actress. She's done some singing in her earlier days together with me. And she's a fantastic dancer, which is actually how we met many years ago in the city of Rotterdam. Please welcome my very close and dear friend, Miss Nikki Emmen. Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
I'm good, Eddie. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine. You know, taking it one day at a time, as we say.
That's all you need to do. That's right.
You know, trying to spread a little positive vibes out there to everybody. That's what it's all about, you know.
Yes, you're doing a good job.
So how's the weather over there in LA?
You know, it wants to be spring, but it's really cold and the wind is blowing and it's really April, you know, anything goes. It's 90 degrees one day and low 50s the other day, so the next day. So it really depends.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know a lot about you, but can you tell our listeners something about you and where you're originally from and how you ended up in LA and, you know, what you're actually doing?
Sure. So I go by Monique Emmen in Holland. Here I am Nikki because it's either Nick or Mo. So, you know, I opted for Nikki because I've been Nikki all my life with my parents. But so I was an actress in Holland. I worked on a couple of TV shows. I was a host for MTV Music Box, Time Out for Holland for a couple of years.
Right.
And worked on Hollanders for a couple of seasons as well. I was a dancer. I had a dance school and I did competitive dancing as well. Worked on cruise ships, performed kind of the stuff you see in Dancing with the Stars. Do you have it in Holland or no?
Yeah, it went worldwide.
Yes, exactly. So that kind of dancing I did a lot. And I, at the time, was living with my boyfriend then, who was a member of the Time Bandits, Alides Hidding.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, he got offered a contract with CBS to come to New York and write with Dan Hartman for Sylvester Stallone's new movie. And he had to be in in New York for 6 months and then to mix everything in LA for 2 months. So he said, Nikki, do you want to come? You know, I had nothing to do that summer. So I said, sure, let's go. And we went to a house in New York. We stayed with Dan Hartman for a while. And then we rented a place in New York. And he did his thing, got a contract with CBS after that. Yeah, so we moved to LA because that's where we had to be to collaborate with other writers, him, not me, you know, as a songwriter. So he did, and it was wonderful. And loved Los Angeles. Right. And then after 2 years, he just wanted to put his band back together, the Time Bandits. So we had to be in Holland for that. And he wanted to move back. But by that time, I just had fallen in love with America, with Los Angeles in particular. You know, you can't beat the California weather.
Hey, that's that nice weather, yeah.
Yeah. Because our relationship wasn't as great as it used to be because there was a lot of stress going on his part. And I just opted to stay here, see how it went. And then he went back and maybe in a few months I would follow him, but I never did. And we broke up and I'm still here all those years later.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, decisions sometimes need to be made, you know. And I remember back in the day, in our younger years, our more youthful years we had, that was always a dream of yours to actually act and do some stuff in the States. You know, we used to talk about that. You know?
Of course, yeah.
So, and actually got to where you wanted to go. I mean, that's where your heart took, you know, that's how destiny goes sometimes. So, you know, It was probably all for the better, you know.
Yes.
And he's living in Belgium, man.
Yeah, he's happily married with 3 kids and a wonderful wife, and we're still in touch. And he's living in Belgium, close to you.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. He's a cool guy. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still very good friends. Yeah, you should call.
They're still performing because actually my technician, Ishwan, who you also know, does the sound for them and this program as well. So complete circle, as you would say.
Wow, what a small world. Absolutely. Look at us. Across the pond, here we are talking, huh?
That's quite a while back.
Yeah.
So tell me, what are you doing at the moment? Are you, busy with any acting? The Corona situation, how has that affected the industry there? I know that you had the Academy Awards just a couple of days ago. Kind of a sober situation, with the way it went compared to how I knew it growing up or how we knew it.
Oh, yeah.
But so what are some of the things you're doing right now? Because I know you're working with a few artists as an assistant, as well as maybe doing a role here or there somewhere. And you're writing a lot.
Well, I actually am writing a novel. It's called Hooked on a Memory, and it's loosely based on an experience I had with Tom Jones in Las Vegas. That's where the novel is based on. It's kind of like a little bit of an erotic kind of novel, which is, it is. It's the style I like to write in, but it's definitely it's not X-rated or anything. It's not 50 Shades of Grey kind of level. Absolutely not. But it is kind of a sexy book.
Okay.
I had one experience and it kind of took my imagination, and I love to write. So it took my imagination, further along, and that's what I'm writing about. And now I'm working for Dabney Coleman, who's a well-known actor here. He was Mr. Hart in 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton and Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin. He was in On Golden Pond with Katharine Hepburn. His latest part is before the Corona, and then everything stopped because production stopped. But we're going to pick it up in June, which was Yellowstone, the Paramount series with Kevin Costner as John Dutton. So Dabney is Kevin Costner's father, and we were traveling back to Montana and Utah quite a bit, which was wonderful. It was like cowboy camp,
Okay.
I mean, can you imagine sitting around the fire with Kevin Costner?
Okay.
Reading. That was a good experience. It was really fun. He's a very down-to-earth guy, and that was fun. And then Corona hit, and then production stopped. But Dabney is great. I've been his assistant for almost 2 years now. And one of the wonderful things about him is that we've known each other for about 20 years. He was one of the first guys I met out here in Los Angeles. We've always kept in touch. And then I had other jobs. Wow. And then about 2 years ago, he really wanted me to come work for him because he wanted somebody familiar around, needed to be somebody who could stay overnight. And he didn't want a stranger. So he asked me and I came aboard. Cool, because Dabney is almost 90 years old.
Right.
And he's still working out and he's still active and acting, working. And he has so many stories to tell. He met Marilyn Monroe. You name it, he knew him. He's one of those old Hollywood guys. And I just love talking to him about the old days.
Probably get a lot of experience approaching your own acting career. Are there any movies or series or something that we're going to see you in the near future?
Not at the moment, but I'll let you know. I was back in the day in Melrose Place and Beverly Hills 90210 with Aaron Spelling, and that's how I got my SAG card and all that good stuff. So I could jump on board, but a lot of times my accent got in the way. I still have a European accent, I think. I think tonight is a heavy accent kind of night. Sometimes I blend right in, but not tonight. But hopefully, I still want to act. I think that I still have the chops, and I'm very passionate about acting. So why not? If the opportunity comes along, let's go.
Well, I always told you, just be yourself. I've been telling you, I told you that, and eventually the right role will come, the right time, the right part, and the right situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something that I've learned. When it's right, it's right. The raw talent that you have and the experiences that you have, nobody can take that away from you. So, and eventually the right things will come your way. You're a very positive minded person, always have been. Just also one of the reasons, other than being a dear friend of mine.
Yes.
I wanted to have you on the show, you know.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I know that there's another thing which is very dear to you. You love to cook.
Yes. How did you know? Yes, I
I've
love
seen
to
some
cook.
of your little recipes on Facebook, so, you know.
Yes. My dad was a chef. We had a restaurant and he taught me how to cook. And I think I have this enthusiasm for cooking food from him. You know, he was a great cook. And I love to just come home, kick off my shoes, put on, you know, some music and some candles, have a glass of wine and start cooking. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Relaxes.
I remember something like that.
You know.
Yes, I know. That's
Yeah.
right. We've had some nice dinners together. Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. We go a long way back, you and I. Yeah.
And there's one other thing which is fantastic is you kind of like jumped aboard on the mask game. You got
Yes.
the Nikki Love mask that you make.
Darling Nick 7.
Darling Nikki mask, right? And which
That's
I did.
right.
And I
Yes.
did that little movie for you.
I know.
And very nice mask, especially when it's cold.
Thank you.
Because they keep your face warm as well.
They really do. Exactly. They have that brushed flannel on the inside. Yeah.
Very nice. Very classy. Very classy.
Thank you. I made one for, can I brag?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I made one for Dolly Parton and for Clint Eastwood.
Oh, fantastic.
Believe it or not. Yes, I did, because they're Japanese friends, and he was, you know, explaining about these masks that won't slide down and
Right.
specialty masks for artists. Like now I'm making a few Prince masks. I don't know if you have seen those online. And then
I've actually shared a couple of your posts with those. Yeah.
yeah, those are cool. And a Bee Gees called Tributes Band once won for the Vegas act. And so I'm just designing all kinds of specialty masks for artists now, which is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Are you going to have like a summer series as well, especially with a little thinner kind of material?
Yes. Absolutely.
Because I think we're going to have another hot summer, and the way it looks, the coming time and the mask is going to be basically part of the whole look, you know, especially going out the doors.
Yeah, I know. I kind of like it.
It has its charm at one point, kind of conceals a person's face to a certain, or what they're thinking. You know, I always still believe the eyes are the key to the soul.
Yeah.
But it does have its downside thing about it, you know, so, but we'll, you know, I feel like we're in this day and time, we've got to reinvent ourselves in different ways, especially in the music and creative arts industry. So there's, you know, there's a lot of things that we need to work on to change, get it out there and all. It is what it is, as I always say.
It is what it is. You're right. That's such a Dutch expression, isn't it? It is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, listen, I got one more question for you before I let you retire for the evening, because it's there in LA. When there's a 9-hour difference. So I know that it's almost midnight there. So, you know, I don't want you to turn to a pumpkin and lose the, you know, you lose the glass slipper though.
Thank you. Yes, I know, right? Where's my friend?
So, okay.
Size 7, guys.
So my last question would be to you, sweetie, is what does calm mean to you?
That's a great question. Well, I have two kinds of calm in my life, I think. I feel calm when, of course, everything is peaceful and right with the world, and my family and friends are okay, and you know, it's late at night and the world is calm and quiet, and I feel peaceful inside because I've accomplished things, or, you know, I'm happy with how the day went. Or there's a kind of calm that when things are hectic and chaotic, and I feel like in spite of all that chaos, I do feel in control and I have a handle on things, and I feel kind of in control. And that is another kind of calm that I very often experience here with this kind of job, because it gets crazy sometimes. Hectic emails, phone calls, scripts to read, emails to answer, texts coming in, fan mail to answer. It's just a lot of stuff. And when I feel like I manage my time really well, I feel calm inside. And that's another kind of calm that I really appreciate.
Well, okay, that's wisely said.
How about you?
Well, for me, having this interview, going for a walk, my photography, making music, still making music, just sometimes just sitting in silence and, doing a little meditation. Those are all things which are just seeing people happy and in a positive vibe.
Exactly. You're a pretty calm guy by nature.
Life shouldn't be a hassle. We have to take it and learn from the good things, and learn from the bad things. It's at the end of the day, it's all good, because as long as you stay positive about something and you learn from the bad experience or that you might have gone to, in one way, it's going to be a good experience for you, because it's just going to make you stronger for the next time. So that's important as well. Well, listen, it has been a very, very nice pleasure, not only to see you online. Of course, our listeners don't see you, but to have a talk with you again after such a long time.
Absolutely.
Of course, we keep track with each other on Facebook. Eventually, we have to definitely get together for that script we've been talking about writing. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that.
Well, is there anything you'd like to leave with our listeners, actually, on being calm?
Oh, yes. Yes, I would. You guys out there in Belgium, Holland, wherever you're listening, stay positive, stay calm. And I know that this has been a very challenging year for everybody. I've been in quarantine for the last year. But I think just, keep your head together. Be a part of the herd immunity with the vaccine, whichever one is best for your situation. And let's all be loving and safe around one another. And let's get the world back on its feet. Our families, our money situation, our jobs, our social life. Stay in touch with each other on Zoom or Facebook, or pick up the phone. Really stay in touch. That's very important. And then, life will resume as the new normal, but it will be normal-ish again. So that's my advice. Keep your head together.
All right. On that, I'd like to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Eddie.
Big hug and a lot of love out there to you, sweetie.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you so much for having me.
All righty. And we'll keep in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is My Positive Podcast with Eddie C. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my second guest on today's show is not only a fantastic pianist, keyboard player, but he's also an entrepreneur, especially when it comes to health products. We've worked together in several bands. He's a really fantastic person to know as well. Please welcome my next guest, Mr. Mark Milan. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, Eddie. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
Great. Yes, it's just it's a pity we can't play together that much, but, it's going to come back again soon.
Yes, I really hope so. Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah. Well, listen, can you tell my audience a little bit about, your background and how did you end up in making music your profession for a large part?
Well, how I end up in the Netherlands is quite easy because my parents are from Suriname. That's a country in South America, on the north coast of South America. And in the 60s, last century, they emigrated to Holland for study and work, and they are both teachers, school teachers, and my father's a math teacher, my mom is a biology teacher, and
that's funny. My mom was a special education teacher, and my father was a biology teacher. So
okay, yeah. So we got the same background in a way, in that sense. But So because of my parents, they emigrated to the Netherlands. Then I popped up in the Netherlands. I was born in the Netherlands. So I'm not born in Suriname, but my heritage is from Suriname.
Your roots are there, yeah.
Yeah, my roots are there, and I've been there many times actually as a child, and I also speak the language, so I grew up here in the Netherlands. did all the schools, like until high school. Then I started a study in music. I started to study in a city in Holland called Hilversum. That was the place to be if you wanted to study jazz. Actually, there were like two other cities, but I think the most popular one was in Hilversum because like there you had some great teachers, actually self-taught musicians, but they were like the top guys in the jazz scene already like since I think the 50s, 60s, 70s, and so on. And they were teaching there, so like that was the right place to be to learn jazz in an institution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How did you actually start to play?
I started out on organ, actually. I can remember we always had like an organ in the house, and my dad was playing on it. And as a little kid, I always, like when he was playing, I also wanted to play, and so I was hanging on his arm. No, I want to play as well.
Okay.
But and sometimes, like I had some moments to sit down behind the organ, and I just not really played something, but I made sound on it. And then later on, like I think from around when I was 7 or 8, I started to take organ lessons because like a colleague on my father's school, he was the music teacher, but he was also an organ player. And by coincidence, like he lived in the same town as we were living. So I started to take lessons from him, and what he noticed, I could play very well by ear. So like, or also remember what if somebody played something, like, oh, I listen, I look, and I could play it. Yeah, so but actually my progression, certainly in the beginning, was pretty fast. But my great ear and memory also was a downside for music reading. So at a certain point, the reading got more difficult.
Okay.
And I was also very much into sports. I was doing judo also at that time. And then later on, I also did basketball because my father was also playing basketball already from his teens. And
all right.
Also like when I was born. So I always went to the training on Sunday morning.
Okay.
And then I saw them play, and with all the other kids, like we were playing with the balls. And then music came more on the background. And then I stopped playing the organ. And I was more into basketball. And then from basketball into other martial arts like karate. And from the karate, it's like kind of, I made some kind of a detour.
Right.
So like from the karate, like in that place where we did the trainings, had the lessons, there was another guy, but he was like a kung fu teacher. And I found it also very inspiring. He also played guitar. He had the band with his brothers. And in that same place, some days, like he was rehearsing there with his brothers. So like one time I went to watch. And when I heard that live band, I was like, wow, I want to do this.
Okay.
And then we still had the organ in the house. So I still started to play some songs, but more like, really like modern soul songs or pop songs. And I was totally fascinated by this band, like Maze.
Okay.
I was around 14, 15. And I also, like from my upbringing at the parent, my dad had really different styles of music. Like he played, and he had a very expensive sound system with a lot of speakers and blah blah blah. And like he played from soul, R&B, music from Suriname, like salsa. And my uncle, he also lived for a while at our house, and he was more like from the James Brown and more the funky soul stuff. And he also had some Parliament records as well. Yeah, so I had like different musical influences.
Okay.
When I got inspired by this kung fu teacher with his band, with his brothers, I started to play organ again, and then I started to check out the songs from the live album from Maze, Frankie Beverly, live in New Orleans. And I started to play with that record, and then from there I went on, and then I went to buy a Hohner Pianet, electric piano, and then I got a little bit kind of in the music scene, like a friend of mine, also from karate. He played some drums, and he was jamming in Amsterdam with some musicians. From there it went on, and I was like a 16-year-old guy, like going to jam sessions with people that were like much older than I am, maybe like 4 to 8 years older than me.
Okay.
But like a friend of mine, like he was like about 10 years older than I. But he showed me the scene and the jam sessions, and I stayed at his place, took me under his wing. We listened to jazz at his house, went to jam sessions, and I started to take piano lessons. I bought a piano from my savings. And from there it went on. And like this guy, you probably know him, Patrick Sadok. He's also from the same town where I'm from. And he's a bit older. And I met him in a record store again, and then I asked him like, what kind of jazz should I listen to? And then he also took me under his wings and said like he was just starting at the conservatory in Hilversum. He was like first or second year, and he like kind of inspired me to also go there. So I was really taking piano lessons, doing like ensembles, and practicing. And then some years later I went to do the exam to get allowed into school, and I made it. And from there my whole music career also went on.
All right. Quite a story, man. I didn't know about the basketball part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, you're also very much into a healthy lifestyle for many years. I met your mom a few times, and she's always got the newest health products that come out. So can you elaborate a little bit more on some of the things that you're doing in that area?
Oh, okay. As I said, my mom is a biology teacher. And at a certain point, like she stopped teaching in the school. Like, she wanted to start her own business. And then she took a course in becoming a beautician. But, like with her background already, like a lot of the lessons for being a beautician, like she could skip that, about the anatomy of the human body. That was nothing for her. Okay, and then she started her own business in that sense. But, I was into music. She also wanted to involve me in that beautician world. And I was, there's nothing for me. But I was into music. But still, like as a kid, I still learned some stuff from her about health and also science, because like she also had some science magazines. As a kid, I always wanted to read in it, like even though I didn't understand like the details of it, but like let's say like the point of the story, I could grasp it, like what it's about. So like science always kind of interested me also. And at a certain point, like that was back in 2011, like she introduced me to something. Like she called me and said, "Mark, you gotta come check this out. Come to my house." I said, "Okay, what is it then?" No, you gotta see it. Okay. I went to her house, and then she showed me something in the kitchen. It's like, wow, what is that? Like, is it a water filter or something? Then she said, no, it's not a water filter. I cannot exactly explain it, but I went to a presentation about it. But when I saw it, it's like this is really this is the bomb. And so what I did, I kind of like tasted the water, and it tasted very good. And but it is not a water filter. It's a technology that's coming from Japan. It's called like a water ionizer. Like actually, the technology has started in Russia first. But the Russians, they really didn't pick it up and evolved it. But the Japanese, they picked it up, the ionization of water, and they checked out like what kind of health benefits could that give us. And so they did a lot of studies and trials with the water, and they say, wow, it has quite a lot of benefit. We don't really exactly know yet what is the mechanism behind it, but it works. And year after year, like they did some more research on it, and they found that the alkalinity of ionized water is very healthy for our body because of the diet and lifestyle. And we need like an acid-alkaline balance in our body. And the alkalinity of the water brings that back more into balance. Of course, you also got to do some lifestyle changes, but it makes it easier.
Other than being busy with the healthy water, there are a few other things you're also busy with around healthy lifestyle. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, so like in 2018, through the water, I got another guy who was also very active with this technology. He showed me something about ketone supplement. And I thought like, it's amazing, you got to try it. But like many people have contacted me about like, try this product, it's amazing. I always kind of kept it off because I know what is the power of the water, and that was my main focus. But okay, I said, okay, I'm willing to try it, you know? So I tried it, and then I felt like, yeah, this is also working fantastically. Like it lifted brain fog in my head. It gave me more focus. It gave me more energy throughout the day, more stable energy, because during the day, like we have our energy dips, and it's also quite a lot related to what we eat. And with the ketones, you have stable energy.
I won't go too much into detail. If they want to know, I'll post your contact link on our page. And so people can get in contact with you that are more interested into more details about it. Okay, I've got one last question for you, which is the theme of today, and it's based on the word calm. So I'd like to know, what does calm mean to you?
What calm means to me is a feeling of being centered and feel trust. Everything is gonna be okay, even though it seems like not. And to reach that state of maintain that state continuously as possible. Meditation is a great way to achieve that. And in a way, meditation is also not something that you want to achieve. Meditation is something like brushing your teeth every day or take a shower every day. It's just like cleaning your brain, your system, your nervous system. And then you're fresh for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. That's right. Yeah. I do it as well. So
yeah. I started meditation when I was around 18 years old. I do the transcendental meditation from my Rishi Mahesh Yogi, who taught also the Beatles and also I think the Rolling Stones this technique. Very easy, simple, but very effective.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. Well, listen, Mark, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show and sharing this wide range of lifestyle that you have, you know, and if people can get in contact with you via our page, mypositivepodcast.com. I'll post his links. And if you want to find out more about ketones, you want to find out about alkaline water, you want to find out more about other healthy tips and music, of course. Well, listen, Mark, thanks for coming on the show, buddy. I'm looking forward to us getting to make some music together again. And we keep in contact on a regular basis anyway.
Looking forward to it, Eddie.
All right, buddy.
I always enjoyed playing with you.
All right. Same here, buddy. You take good care of yourself, man. A lot of love to you, brother.
All right. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You're listening to MPP with Eddie C.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome my next guest. She's from the States. She's an ex-U.S. Air Force veteran and former legal assistant for a law firm, and now working at JFSM, the Jazz Funk Soul Music Radio Station in Atlanta. And I'm so very glad to have her join my program. And she's also a dear friend of Miss Denise Williams, also from Gary, Indiana as well. Please welcome my next guest, Miss Shirley Thomas. Hey, Shirley, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me, Eddie. I'm very pleased.
Well, I am very pleased and very glad to have you on the show. We text with each other from time to time on Facebook, so it's always nice to see you in person and talk to you. That's great.
Thank you. Yes.
I got a few questions for you.
Okay.
First of all, knowing that you were a U.S. Air Force veteran and a former legal assistant, and you're busy with the radio station now, you're retired. But can you give my audience a little bit of a background about you, because you've had quite a life behind you, and I think we all like to know how you got to where you are now, more or less.
Okay. Well, being in the Air Force, it took you to a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got out the Air Force, I went back to some of those places and actually lived in some of those places.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've lived in about 7 states, about 15 cities.
Wow.
Yes. And then I'm the type of person that might just get up and go somewhere,
right,
on the spur of the moment. Not always plan and just get up and go. I guess that's my nature. My dad told me once, this whole world is yours, not just the state you were born in. So go venture out, see the world, And I think I tried to do that literally.
Okay.
And I love to meet different people. I love to be around positivity. And those that are not quite positive at a moment or time in their lives, I like to bring them some positivity, some inspiration.
I feel where you're coming from.
Yes, motivation, because it doesn't always have to be doom and gloom. Even if something horrible happened, we can turn it into something good.
Absolutely.
And that's what I basically try to live my life. And I am a Christian, and I put some Bible-based scripture into some of my thoughts. And of course, I love music.
That's right.
My dad was a jazz DJ.
That's right.
Oh, it was music in the house all the time.
All right.
And he would take me to some of the places where he would DJ, a lot of jazz clubs in Chicago.
Right.
And, in Gary. And so I'm still following that lead with him. Music all the time.
All right. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
How did you end up in Dallas?
Oh, wow. Okay. Actually, it's a long story, but I'm going to make it short. I could do that. I was married, and
all right,
when my husband passed, my son came to pick me up and go to his home. Okay. So, and my sister and I were very, very close.
All right.
She lived in Dallas. Kind of being in mourning, I would always visit her every year and stay 3 to 6 weeks at a time.
Okay.
So I decided, since she was working and I wasn't, I decided to go, and be with her. So that's how I got to Dallas. And she has children there. So there is family there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So there, the things that you're doing outside of your retirement, other than enjoying the lifestyle and posting these beautiful things on Facebook that you do, what else are you busy with at the moment?
Well, I tell you, Eddie, I love to write.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I write in a journal almost every day, but I'm also working on a novel.
Oh, fantastic.
And I write poetry. Like I said, I like the music. Actually, being retired, everything I do is enjoyable.
All right.
Yes. I don't care if it's just getting up and drinking some tea and looking out at the flowers, looking at my garden, or welcoming my newborn great grandkids. I try to just stay on the positivity.
Right.
So I don't want to say, I'm not doing nothing. I don't want to say that. But I am a lady of nature.
I know back in the day, you used to dance.
Oh, yes. When I was a young girl, we had a dance group, and we'd be in the talent shows. And, my girlfriend, Denise Williams, who you mentioned earlier, mm-hmm. She was young, kind of shy. We have to push her to sing, and she would travel to different cities to perform, and she didn't want to go by herself. So with our parents' permission, I would go with her. Well, while she was backstage getting ready for her show,
right,
the other performers were, on stage performing. Back then it was like Jerry Butler, the Contours, the Vibrations,
right,
groups like that, the Four Tops, the Dales. And they will always ask the audience. Back then, I don't think they do this now. This is not a concert. Right. This is like in an auditorium, small auditorium. And they would ask, play a song and ask somebody from the audience to come up and dance. Well, they wouldn't do it. And I was backstage. So I would get up on the dance floor and dance. And it was spontaneous. I said, if they're not going to dance, I will.
Oh, wow.
And then when, I wouldn't stay the whole time they were on the stage performing, just one number or even part of one number. And then I would exit. And when I got that first applause, I said, this is cool. I can do this. And that's what I started doing until I moved to Atlanta, and Denise happened to be in Atlanta also. Right. Mm-hmm. I tried out for Soul Train. And to be a Soul Train dancer, a couple, me and this other guy.
All right.
And so we were accepted. And at the last minute, he couldn't, go. And they were looking for couples. So I said, well, at least they think I could dance. And the Soul Train think I could dance. I could dance,
mm-hmm. Right.
And so I got hired by a company to be a go-go girl.
Oh, fantastic. All right.
Yeah. and I did that for about 18 months. Yes. Mm-hmm.
How did you get into the Air Force? I mean, was that voluntary?
That was a fluke. I was looking for a job, and I went into my hometown, Gary, Indiana's Social Security building, and I was going to apply there. Mm-hmm. And I saw all these posters of the armed services.
Okay.
And I saw they were big posters, and I saw all the women uniforms. I based my decision on the uniform.
Okay. All right.
I said, they look cool. And, I really didn't think I was going to actually join.
Right.
But I go in and talk to a recruiter. That's what they call them. And he said, well, I'm going to give you a date. You'll be perfect. You know the pitch, how they try to get you to join. Mm-hmm. But you have to take a test.
Right.
And it's a written test. And then you have to take a physical.
Okay.
Well, I passed the test in engineering. I don't know how I did that. So I enlisted. Yeah.
Okay.
I was in the Air Force for 4 years. It was a 4-year tour.
Okay.
Yes, I was young and I was getting tired of it. I was missing mommy and daddy, mm-hmm. sisters and brothers. So, I got a honorable discharge, and I decided to, go to college with the funds. And that's what I did. Mm-hmm.
Working at a law firm as an assistant, how did that come about?
Well, that was another fluke.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about law, but I was living in Seattle at this time, and I went to visit my grandfather's brother because he worked for Social Security. And I went in there and talked to him, and I said, Uncle David, I'm looking for a job. He said, aren't you a veteran? And I said, yes.
Right.
He said, I'm going to get you a job. He called his buddy who worked there for the regional attorney's office, and I guess they were real good friends from way back, and they made me a position. So that's how I got into the law firm employment.
All right. And how long did you do that?
Oh, I did that for 20 years. Yes.
Wow. That's quite a haul.
Yeah, different law firms, but 20 years, yes.
Wow. Okay. And so now enjoying the retirement and glad to be able to just chill and post on Facebook and then the jazz music. I know the jazz music is a big thing for you.
Yes. Oh, yes. When the jazz funk soul movement first started, they asked would I administrate the page. And I said, of course I would. And I just tried to build the page up. And with doing that, I met a lot of other people.
Right.
Yes.
That's great. And it's a growing station.
It really is, because when I came aboard, we had like 200 or 300 members. And within a year and a half, we've got 5,000. Something.
Yeah, I've spread the word over here in Europe.
Oh, yes. You are one of our biggest supporters. Yes. We even talk about you in our meetings.
Okay. Well, yeah, as soon as the whole COVID thing is behind us all and things get back to a little bit of a normal pace, my plans are to come back over to the States again to visit, come into Atlanta and be nice to see the whole GI gang there.
Oh, that would be so wonderful. Yes. I know your mom and dad.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. My mom is living now in St. Louis since about 8 years now.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, listen, I got one more question for you. And that's the theme from our show for this particular week. And it's about calm. And my question to you is, what does calm mean to you?
Oh, calm. Even that word makes you calm. It's total positivity, total peace, positivity and peace. That's what calm is to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. On those few words, I'd like to say thank you very much for coming on the show and spreading the positivity with my listeners and me. And of course, we'll keep in touch for sure on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
And when I'm over that way, I already spoke to some of the guys back in Atlanta. They said we're going to get together and have a big party with everybody.
Big party. So. We want you to sing.
All right. I will.
Okay.
I will. Okay. Well, listen, you take care of yourself and send my love over that way. And
I will.
Please give everybody my best regards.
I will do that, Eddie. Yes.
And thank you very much, Shirley. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Eddie.
All righty. See you the next time.
See you soon.
See you soon. All righty.
Peace out.
Peace out. All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is MPP, and I'm Eddie C.
Well, all right. I really enjoyed talking with my guests this week, and I hope you had fun listening to them as well. Before I go, I always talk about a theme for the week, and this week's theme is calm. So here's my quote.
When friends and family you care for are feeling at ease, time management and creating space to relax, keeping in touch with those loved ones, be it near or far, music or even sports to open up your awareness, a healthy diet and a healthy mind, the sound of silence when meditating, that complete fulfillment inside and out that gives you a peace of mind.
Well, that's it for this week's show, but I'd like to thank my three guests, Nikki Emmen, Mark Milan, and Shirley Thomas, for sharing their stories and showing how calm can be important to them. And remember, don't lose your head. Stay calm. You can find me on all platforms like Spotify, Android, and Apple. On Facebook, look for My Positive Podcast, and my website is mypositivepodcast.com. You can also contact me via my website or Facebook. A very special thanks to my technical producer, Iswan. This show is a production by Antwerp Podcast Service. My name is Eddie C., and this was MPP, My Positive Podcast. Tune in next week and stay positive.